Hello, welcome to the Hangout. We are so happy that you're here today with us. Yeah. Welcome, ladies, to the live Q&A. We're really excited that you're here with us on a Saturday. I know there's tons of other things that you could be doing, but you're here to learn, to grow, to get your questions answered. And the reason that we did this live Q&A is because we wanted to make sure the last couple of weeks we've done some technical stuff, right? We've built websites, we've been doing Google Hangouts, we've been downloading new apps, we've been setting up new profiles and boards and pins. So it can be like, whoa, hold on a second, I'm still here. I'm still stuck on this. And we want to make sure that you are able to get all your questions answered and that we can do that live here today. So before we get to the questions that the women have in the Facebook group, if you're not plugged into the Facebook group, there's a link down there that you can plug into our Facebook group. It's 100% free, so you want to come on the inside. Yes, free they do. But before we do that, I want to congratulate a few women that are on this panel right now. And you might be saying, well, how do I get on that panel? And I was talking to Greta, and she was like, you know, I've just been, actually, Greta, I'll let you tell the story, because I know that you have been wanting to get on the panel of this entire boot camp. And how did you make it happen?
Yes. I was just trying to figure out my lower third there, so I was a little distracted. And you all know, you guys can't see, but I got a sleeping baby on me. So, yes, I've just been watching this boot camp week after week. I guess we've gone 3 weeks now, and it's just been every week I've been watching these women on the panel, and I'm like looking at them going, I want to be there. I want to be there. And I'm sure whoever is watching this, you watching this right now, may be thinking and feeling the same thing. And, you know, I'm not the type of person to just kind of just ask, oh, well, you know, I'm so much more special than everybody else who wants to be on the panel, so Layla, how about you just put me on there? So I didn't do that. That's not what I did, because I love seeing new people on the panel as well. It's just as exciting to watch everybody else be a part of it for me. But there came a moment in time when Layla talked about an assignment, and this was just this week, wasn't it? Earlier, time like just is not.
Just a couple of days ago.
A couple days ago. There you go. A couple days ago. And I've had like 2 hours of sleep, so sorry if I'm delirious a little bit. It happens sometimes. So yeah, she posted this assignment, and she talked about it on the Superwoman call, and then I knew, I was like, that's it. That's how I can do it. And it's because I kept asking that same question. How can I be on there? What can I do? What do I need to do to get on that panel? And then I was like, this is it. That's it. Okay, accountability partners, here we go. We're cutting our video now. So we got together really, really quick, Carol and Cassidy, and we shot our video and posted it. And we posted it first, and I was like, woohoo! I was so excited. So that's how we do it around here. You make it happen. You do whatever it takes to do what you want. You know, it's awesome to even know what you want, and then you just figure out how you're going to do it. Don't worry about, like, yeah, the challenge. Just do it. Just do whatever it takes. And we're here.
Yeah, I love that, because it's the mindset that we want to teach. You know, there's some people that might be saying, oh, I'm not on the panel. You know, why aren't I on the panel? Why can't I be on the panel? And then there's other people that say, how can I? And when that opportunity was there, I said the first people to get their assignment done, you know, will be on the panel. And boom, Greta was like, that just came to me at a moment that I said, how can I? And then all of a sudden this video challenge popped up, and you ladies were all over. I think you were on your Hangout in, I don't know, it was within an hour or so it was up. So it was pretty awesome. So I'm glad that you ladies are here. But if you're watching out there, make sure that you leave questions below, because I have the website open here to my side so I can see everybody commenting. Emily, all the ladies that are commenting. Linda, hi, all you ladies. We love you. We are so excited that you're here. So first of all, let's go to let's go to our ladies that did their homework assignment to be on this panel and go to their questions. So Carol, lovely to see your face there.
Thank you.
Yay. So what's some questions that you've had come up as you've been going through the 3 weeks of boot camp?
The first one that I really just kind of figured out myself and answered yesterday was, how do I become clear about my target market? And within that question, who am I really looking for, and how do I figure out who I'm looking for? And so I really was able to hammer that down just even yesterday. So
how did you do that?
I sat down with my other accountability / mastermind partner, my husband, and I realized that I've had all this stuff just jumbled up in my head, and even through boot camp, I've still been struggling to make a jump to learn some of the things and to really, really, truly implement some of the things that we've learned. And it all came down to, I lacked clarity. This is going to sound really funny, but I lacked clarity on having clarity. So all of this stuff was just all up in my head, and I hadn't taken the time to really sit down and sort it out and figure out what tasks I personally need to be working on, exactly who I want to target, and what do I do with them once I've picked out my target. How do I develop relationships with them and bring them, into the fold? So the biggest thing for me yesterday, and I've still got a little bit more homework to do out of our time yesterday, but Marisol's training on time management for me was huge Thursday night. So I now have just a kind of a breakdown of a schedule, and I'm going to be developing that even more. So I've got my schedule of things I need to do. And then Carl also suggested an exercise that he did last week, I think, called a mind map. And so I'm going to take some quiet time, and I basically know who my target market is and who I really want to speak to, but I need to clarify that even more. So those are the things that I'm doing to get everything kind of unjumbled and compartmentalized in my head so that I can really, truly focus. Because that's been my issue, is I have been all over the map and without a plan and spur of the moment, oh, I should post on Facebook, and then I really don't have anything that's really earth-shattering or good or, encouraging or, whatever. So that's how I'm conquering that, is I will be sitting down this weekend and doing the mind map, completing my schedule, and checking in whenever I need to with my wonderful accountability partners, Greta and Cassidy. They are a huge help in that. So those are some tools, and I wanted to tell you, xmind.net is a good, free, downloadable mind map to help you get started on really gaining clarity.
Woohoo! Awesome, Carol.
You're muted, Layla.
Layla's muted.
I said sometimes I call them a brain dump, but mind map sounds way more professional than than brain dump. That's awesome, and a lot of people have that question. Who am I talking to? Who am I targeting? How do I figure this out? And it can kind of be overwhelming when you get into some more elite training of creating avatars, and you can customize your funnel to a specific avatar and customize your presentation to who you're speaking to. The easiest way to remember and to focus on who you're talking to is, who are you? That's going to be the person that you're going to be able to relate to. You know the pains that you've been through. So think about, who are you? Are you a mom? Are you working 9 to 5? Are you in a single income home? Are you a college dropout like me? Are you are you a struggling networker who's been in the industry forever and hasn't seen any results? Think about who you are, and then it's really easy to say, okay, this is who I am. This is how I can, what are the pains that I felt as that struggling networker? What did it feel like to have my friends and family block my number on their phone? What did it feel like when people said they were going to come to my meeting or come to my party and they didn't show up? What did it feel like to have to ask everybody to bring ice? Did you feel like ridiculous? All these different things that are pains for that avatar. So that's a really simple thing to remember. Now let me go to the group so that I can talk to these awesome ladies who are asking questions. There are Patricia Henry, a good question. We don't have Nicole on today. I don't think she was available, but I've been just diving into some Instagram, so I'll try and answer it the best I can. But Patricia was asking the fake profiles out there on Instagram. How do you indicate? How can you find out who they are? Well, usually you can look at anybody's picture posts. If they have one post there, or they have maybe 2 or 3, or every single one is like a spam for spam, or like some crazy thing, it's probably not a real person. So I wouldn't waste any time, connecting or responding. I've actually seen quite a few spammers out there on Instagram, and luckily we get this training, and it is so zeroed in on the concepts that we teach of attraction marketing and building relationships and building a brand of integrity, which Nicole showed you guys not to be doing those sort of spammy comment type things with that secret tool that she showed us. So definitely, if you see that going on, I wouldn't automatically judge someone as a spammer. They just don't have the information right. They haven't been taught the importance of their brand and what it means, what their face means on Instagram, and how valuable it is. So for me, that's someone that I can educate. That's someone that I can connect with, and I can show them a better way to do business. So that's usually how I identify, though, the robot accounts. They don't have very many pictures. Valerie, this is a question that a lot of women have had, and I actually found an answer for you, so I'm pretty excited about this. How can you create and use more than one Instagram profile from your phone? Okay. So you can't do it on Instagram. You cannot have multiple accounts that you switch back and forth. They used to have it, but they eliminated it. But you can. I found this app. I've been playing around with it. It's 99 cents, so you got to break the bank for it. It's not free. But it's called Instaplode. So Insta, P-L-O-A-D, Instaplode. And this app, for 99 cents, it allows you to do 5 accounts, all from your phone, and you can post to them, you can comment and all that stuff right inside the app. So that was one that I found, but there's nothing on Instagram that allows you to do that yet. So what you do is you go to Instagram on your computer, create multiple accounts, different accounts, and then you go to your Instaplode little app here, and be able to manage them. And that's the only thing that I've been able to find. If anybody else has anything that they've been using, but that seemed to be a cool way to do it for me. Anybody want to answer this question that Linda has? What does CTA mean on an Instagram training?
Call to action.
Explain that a little bit more for women that are like, well, let's call to action.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Raising our swords or what?
So, yeah, I mean, at the end of anything that we do, any sort of content we're putting out, so whether it's a blog or a video or a Facebook post or an Instagram post, you want to end it with a call to action. And that means you want to get people reading or watching to actually do something. So that can be, it doesn't always have to, and it shouldn't always be something like go buy my stuff, but it can be something like come and join me on Facebook, and then you give a link, or make sure you leave a comment under my video. So, or on Instagram, what do you, leave your comments and let me know what you think about this picture. It's something at the very end where you're telling somebody what they need to do next. So instead of just, scrolling through and going over, the next picture, they actually do something when they see yours.
Yeah, we see that a lot on videos, right? When people end a video, they'll be like, okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. And it's like, okay, I just watched that. You kind of just wasted that opportunity. If someone actually watched your video to the very end of your video and you didn't do a call to action, you just missed an opportunity to get them to take the next step, whatever the next step is. Getting to know you on Facebook, like Sue said, leaving a comment with your opinion, leaving, sharing this on your wall. All these different things are call to action. So you want to take that opportunity to make them take the next step, whatever it is. If you've been studying anything in the master's course about sales, you know that it's all about small commitments. It's all about these small commitments. When you can get your followers concentrated on always listening to what you say, whether it's leave a comment, click like, double tap this on Instagram, this is going to get them in the habit of following your direction, so that when you have a webinar, or you have a hangout, or you have a Q&A, or you have a brand new blog post that just went out, they're actually going to listen to you when you tell them to go read it or go watch it. Awesome. Okay, let's keep going down these questions. How do we do a training so other people can see our screen as we talk and use the computer? Anybody want to answer this? This is Joanne. What if you don't have, because there's obviously some tools that we can use, like ScreenFlow, you have to pay for it. Camtasia, you have to pay for it. What would you use if you're marketing on a budget, ladies?
Oh, geez, I use ScreenFlow because it's awesome. And, I say if you have a business, there are certain things that you have to spend money on. That's all there is to it. If you want good tools, you got to pay for it, and it's part of your business. It's a business expense. Just as if you had like a hammer and a saw, you need the good stuff. So, yeah. Ladies, if you want to run your business correctly, I always say don't be cheap. You don't have to buy everything, but the things that you do buy 2 or 3 things, but buy the best of that. That's my recommendation.
ScreenFlow is for Mac, and if you've seen any of my videos, how you can zoom in on stuff, and you can really draw attention, you can put words and music and all that kind of stuff in your videos, then that's what I use. If you're like, well, I can't right now, first of all, you're saying I can't. You need to say, how can I? What can I do to brand myself like a professional, to have the right tools, like Joanne said. Just like if you were opening a lawn care business, you wouldn't go and buy the $49 weed whacker from Walmart. It just wouldn't work, right? So you maybe get one lawn cut, and then you'd have to go buy another one. So ScreenFlow, Camtasia, Cam Studio is one that is free for PC. I remember I used it a while ago. And also, when you're on a Hangout. So if you're on a Hangout, you can go through Sue's training on Google Hangouts. But if you're on a Hangout, you can do a screen share. So you can show someone right on your screen. I just click this button, and then you guys are over looking at my desktop, and we're looking at this awesome visual of my screen. And then this is recorded, so this also creates a recording. Sometimes YouTube can be a little blurry, and it doesn't have that clarity, that crispness that we love. Let's keep going down these.
Can I throw one more in there?
Yeah, for sure.
Jing is a really good free one. You can only do videos up to, I think it's 5 minutes, but if it's the first kind of screen share recording that you've done, it's a pretty good place to start. So that's jingproject.com.
Awesome.
jingproject.com. But then get ScreenFlow. That's what I use too. It's awesome.
Yes. ScreenFlow is like, sometimes, have you ever left your recording on and recorded 2 days?
Yeah. Because you can't see it, right? You can't see that it's recording, yeah.
All right, let's go. Patricia Henry, this is just another Instagram question, but I had this from other women as well. They were saying that their hashtags are highlighted, but their website isn't. Now, this is just a condition of Instagram. Your website, they don't do hyperlinks, so you're not doing anything wrong. Patricia, don't worry. She's like, what did I do wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. It just doesn't work. So don't worry, you're okay. Sue, this question's for you, from Terry. She has a question about structuring or timing of the series. The idea.
Yeah, I'm looking at that question right now, so I'll.
Okay, you look at that one because I don't want to read the whole thing out.
Long. Okay, so basically, she wants to know once you've created your series of 6. Hang on, I just lost the window there. So you do the first one, and then when do you do the next 5? So, and I do think that's a little bit up to you. I don't think everybody's needs to be exactly the same, but I think ideally you would leave a couple days in between so that you have a little bit of time to invite people to the next one. So, but the other thing I think is really important is to And this is where I know I get in trouble doing this kind of thing where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this series, and so I do number 1, and I still have no idea what I'm doing in number 2. So the best thing you can do is map out the entire series. You've got 6 parts, you know exactly what you're talking about in each part, and then at the end of each one, you're able to say, and on the next episode, or the next show, or the next part of this series, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to show you how to do this. So yeah, but spread them out every couple days. That way, in between, then you've got time to email people again and put it on Facebook. You know, I've got the next one of my series coming up, and you give the date. But when you're recording, another thing to keep in mind is don't talk about days. Like, don't talk about time of day or time of year. Like, don't date
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. Right? Don't say my next video is coming up on Thursday, because you want to be able to use this forever. So when somebody's watching that video, it might be coming up on Sunday or Monday. It doesn't matter, right? So you want to leave the date untouched so that you can keep using this series. It doesn't matter what day it is or what year it is. So I think that should help, Terry.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to the ladies on the panel. Cassarola. What questions have you had in this awesome boot camp? P.S. Congrats on doing the assignment first.
Ding, ding, ding. Awesome, yes. That was all Greta, I swear. She was like, we have to do this now. And I was like, okay, give me 4 hours and I will be there. So it's all Greta, for sure. Let me see. Let me think. Well, you know me. I'm always paying attention. I'm always listening. I have a wicked good memory, so sometimes I remember stuff you've said that you don't know you said.
I don't even remember.
So I think the biggest question, because I was on the last boot camp, and I specifically remember you going over the same thing that Toby went over in our bonus, our all-in bonus. He had a little sheet of the screenwriter's journey type thing. And I remember you went over in that boot camp the triple stack. And I lost all my screenshots from that. And I remember there was a specific way to structure your story so that your open loops are there, 1, 2, 3, and then you're closing them on the other end. So I just... What?
You got it. You do have it. Okay. So let me... Okay. How can I do this? Let me try something. Google Talk... What are you doing? Get on. Can you see my screen here?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if this works. No, it's not working. Okay. Let me... No. No pen. No pen. Let me just use a little line. Okay. So, when we're talking about, you're talking about the stacking of stories, because when you're talking about stacking, there's so many different things that you can do when we're talking about stacking. Like I was thinking about stacking the value when you're price conditioning in presentation. I was thinking of stacking your benefits, but stacking your stories. So, for example, when you're going to a hangout, say you're going to a hangout and the topic is overcoming your fear. So if I know I'm going to be a guest speaker on this hangout, I'm going to come prepared. Not prepared with a bunch of notes or content, but the best way to teach people is to teach them through storytelling. We know this. We've done this. We've been trained on this. We respond well to stories. Some of the biggest life lessons you've ever learned have come from the stories that people have told you. So, in order to, let me try this little arrow. Keep people captivated. We talk about open loops. And if this goes over your head, don't freak out. It's okay. I like to use stories of 3s. Some people use way more stories. If you listen to David Wood talk, he'll probably integrate 6, 7, sometimes 8 stories all into one. So I'm just drawing this just to give you a little bit of visual here. Don't worry, I'm going to explain it. So this is how I structure it. Story 1, let me see if I could I don't really need to. I wish I had my pen, but I don't have a pen. So story number 1, I'll go right here. Story number 1, baby's crying. Story number 2, baby's crying. Isn't it funny when you're a mom, suddenly when your baby cries, it's hard to tune anything out, like focus on anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm doing it. Okay, so this is it. This is the structure. This is how it goes. This is your first story. At the very peak of your story, right before you're about to jump over that cliff, or right before you're about to quit, right before you're about to turn back and never, not walk on that runway, and right before that happens, you start your second story. So we open this loop, and it's open. People are like, oh my God, what happened? Did she do it? Did she quit? Did she fall? Did she die? What happened? So they're like on the edge of their seats, and then you start your second story. Right at the peak moment of that, right at the climax, you cut away to your third story. And this is really simple stuff, ladies, but it does take practice. And then when you're right at the climax here, you go to your third story. So you're leaving your first story. This is the one that has the biggest impact, I would say. This is the ultimate story. This is the one that's really gonna impact them when they hear that closed loop. So you save that one for last. And then you go into your second story, close the loop, what happened that we opened here, and then finally close the first story. So that's pretty much it. We can't really obviously go into a full detailed training on that, but we could definitely dig it up and make it available for the all-in women. So let me do some digging around and see if I can find that specific segment of the boot camp. But that's basically, it's pretty simple when you just kind of keep it like that. I like to picture it as a sandwich. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Also, I have one more question. When you are at your open loops, we've talked about open loops. We talked about what types of open loops. When you're at that peak, when you're at that climax, what is the perfect open loop to bring it, to switch gears?
The segue?
Yeah.
Honestly, you can actually use words like, when I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
Stop right there, freeze right there. We're going to come back to this because it's really important that you pay attention. And then just start talking about your next story.
Okay.
Or you can say, before I tell you how this ended, before I tell you what happened, this happened to me, and then you segue into your next story. So the word before, or before we go into this, but sometimes you can just stop, and people are like, what the heck? It's like a pattern interrupt. They're like, what the heck? She just started telling me a different story.
I think
but
that's
you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe what happened to me when I was in Atlanta. Oh, my gosh. And then they're like, what? She didn't even finish. What happened? And it throws people for a little bit of a loop. And that's what they do in TV all the time when we talked about open loops in our last boot camp. We haven't actually covered that in this one.
Toby kind of touched on
all of them.
A little bit. Well, I think that's awesome because I'm a rambler, and just having that specific structure to be able to tell your story, so you're not, because I talk to myself all the time, like trying to formulate how I'm going to set up my story to get my point across and not get all the way over in like ramble land. So thank you so much for that, and that I think that will benefit a lot of the women to triple stack your stories.
Triple stack. So I was trying to message Katie to see what happened to her because we wanted to bring Katie out. She had some questions too. Katie White, she's going to be training next week, which I can't wait for. She's the one of the ones that's always up till like 5 in the morning UK time. But I was like, it's normal time. You can jump on today, but she disappeared. So I was trying to message her to see if we could get her back here. But
how did you get a pink arrow pointing at you?
I was just going to ask the same question.
I don't know.
It's gone now. Did somebody put that on her or something?
I was testing out that draw app.
Oh, okay.
Alicia.
Good pattern interrupt.
Pink arrow? Like, I didn't do that. How do you do that? That's a good question. Greta, your question that you put in the thread was really good, and I thought a lot of women are probably struggling with that too. So come on out here and ask your question.
I asked a couple of questions. Which one was it again?
The one about all the different avenues, all the different.
Yeah, and what to focus on. Yeah, just while we're still mastering, you know, all these different social media sites and learning all these different tips and tricks, and you know, trying to stay on top of it and before we forget the next, you know, because that happens. Sometimes when we take on so much, and especially throughout this boot camp, I'm sure that other ladies can relate. It's, you know, we struggle with, and this is also part of my other question, or some other people's questions, is feeling overwhelmed just during that whole process, and having, you know, just so many things, so many different places that you want to be, and we're all excited to really master these things. Should we still focus on each of, you know, I was wondering, should I still be focusing on these things every day, on all these different things, or should I just solely, you know, take a couple things and just like chunk it up into chunks, and chunk a couple here and a couple there, and just, you know, kind of find a flow, I guess, and how I'm going to fit it in to my schedule and my life, and in and around my kids and all that, and, you know, whoever is out there, you know, if you have another job or whatever, how you're going to do it, and what's the best way, so that you can actually, sorry about that, so that you can actually really master them instead of just kind of messing around.
Being wishy-washy on everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. One thing that you have to do is you have to really identify how much time you have every day. So how much time do you have every day to allocate to your business? And I like to segment things as far as what I can do on my phone and what I have to be in front of my computer to do. So the things that I have to be in front of my computer to do, I chunk them together, get them done all at once. Things that I can do on my phone, they get a specific segment time. So I know that when I am nursing or something, I can be here and I'm on my phone and I can do my Instagram while I'm doing that, so I can multitask. You know, it's like, what? If you're pooping, you can also get certain things done. That's Toby's 2 cents there on this thing.
Of course.
Of course, it comes down to pooping. Yeah, so I segment what I can do on my phone, what I need to be in front of my computer. Honestly, if you're feeling overwhelmed, my best suggestion is just to back it up a bit. Don't try and master everything at once, because you will get frustrated and you will just kind of put I hate to say it, half-ass into everything, and you really want to dial them down. I feel like there are certain things like the Instagram training. Honestly, I believe that you can do that, and I have been doing it on my phone, just on my phone, not touching my computer, only when I'm pooping and nursing. That you can do that within 20 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at lunch, 15 minutes at night, and I think that that's pretty quick. Some of the other stuff like ranking on Google, the YouTube stuff, it's going to take a little bit longer. But I truly believe that one of the things that we have to focus on is our ability to communicate. So when it comes down to it, Google Hangouts are going to be your best friend for learning how to communicate, for building a brand of values, for getting your face recognized, for working on your presentation skills, working on your ability to tell a story, your ability to train and teach. Even if you have a great concept or a great strategy that you've learned, if you can't communicate that, if your videos are boring, or you're mumbly, or you talk really, really fast and people can't really connect with it, then you're going to lose people. So I think one of the most important things to focus on is your ability to share a message, your ability to reach out to people and connect with people. And then when you're just starting, you don't have 25, 50 leads coming in a day, so you have to go out there and get them. And traffic is like one of these things, it's like this magical thing that we think is just going to show up, or if we just throw money at it, then we'll make money. But I truly believe when I first got started on the internet, I had no traffic. I had to go out there and make those real connections. I had to go out there and get to know people. I had to put myself out there with my videos, and that was how I drew people to me. So I think that's the fastest way, is to work on your presence on camera, on Google Hangouts, and then using those to create your credibility, to create content for your blog posts. You know, you're kind of getting it, all of that with one stone. So what are your ladies' thoughts on that?
I personally believe that you should only focus on 2 strategies. You know, these boot camps are awesome because you get the whole smorgasbord and you can get a little sample of everything. Think of it as a buffet. And then you want to go back for seconds and you pick the things that you really, really, really like, the things that you resonate with, the things that you feel strongest in, and focus on those 2 things only. And once you master those 2, then go back for the roast beef, you know, and pick up something else and go with a different strategy. But in the beginning, concentrate on 2 at the most, and don't go overboard, because that you can totally get overwhelmed. So do what you do good. That's my advice.
I would say what you want to feature. Like on your blog, what do you want to feature and have that thing you're mastering on there?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And as you're mastering it, you can help other people learn that process as well. That's cool.
Can I ask a quick question about Instagram as well? Some other people might be wondering. I don't know. I don't think that Nicole went over this, but I see a lot of videos, like short little video clips on Instagram, and I attempted to upload a video last night, and I wasn't able to do it. I'm not sure why. I'm just wondering, do you have to have a super short video, or will it just take a clip from a video that you have that's maybe a little bit longer? And I personally love clicking on those videos. I think they're awesome. So I'd like to know how I can do that and use those.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the videos, whatever, like, do you have an iPhone or you have an Android?
I have a Samsung.
A Samsung, okay. I'm not that familiar with Samsungs, but I know that in the iPhone, it just picks up your camera roll and you get like a little bar. So your videos and Instagram, how long are they, ladies? 15 seconds?
Yeah, they can only be 15 seconds.
16 seconds will no go.
No go on the 15. Yeah, so it will actually pick a clip. Do you have the Samsung too, Alicia? Or you have an iPhone? Oh.
No, I have no phone. I'm doing it in Schedulegram.
Oh. See?
I had a Samsung, and I remember when I tied the cherry stem with my tongue.
Yep. Yeah.
And I posted that, and I wished I could have like taken a clip of like little spots and kind of melded it together, and I'm sure there would have been like an app to kind of do that and then put it into Instagram, but I simply just used my phone and went to like the videos, and when you go into the little into Instagram, I think it shows let me see here. I think it shows like there's a little icon that there's a little video icon where you upload, like you can take a picture, and I think that'll allow you to pick a video from your phone and then just fiddle with it then, and then it'll let you add filters, it'll let you add all this really cool stuff to it, and then you can just upload it.
Nice.
And it is like 15 seconds.
Also, I did a blog post on the video thing with Instagram. There's an app, you know, the collages. Did you guys see that one?
Yes, that is. What is that? I have that.
It's called, the one that I have is called Pick, Play, Post, and it allows you to put static pictures in a collage with video, or you could have, say, Cassidy had her doing the cherry tongue tie thing in one corner, and then the other corner had a panoramic view of the restaurant, and then in the other corner it had her shocking face of Dan as he was like, oh my God, you know, so you could get really creative with that even in 15 seconds. That's what you want to do. You don't want to think of an Instagram video as like a training, or you just don't have that opportunity. You just want to capture them and be like, oh, this is crazy, this is weird, this is cute, this is, you know, that's kind of the point of it.
What is it called again, Layla?
Pick, play, post. Pick,
post.
Great
Thank you.
post.
And PhotoGrid, I use PhotoGrid a lot, and I know I've just noticed that it just started
Video?
having that option to where you can make the grid, and then it will kind of put together a little slideshow of your pictures and stuff. So that's another good one.
Yeah. There's so many awesome ones. I've tried a lot, but I really like that pick play post one. Hello. Okay. Let me see. Pinterest etiquette question. Okay, I am. Who out there is really active on Pinterest? I'm just getting mine all set up. But Emily's asking if someone repins your pin, is it proper etiquette to go and thank them or give them a shout out or give them some love? In my personal opinion, I don't know Pinterest as well as I know Facebook or YouTube or those kind of things, but I always know that that personal interaction, it goes noticed, right? People notice it. They notice when you acknowledge them. They notice when you like their comments. They notice when you tag them in a post and you say thank you, or they notice when you write on their wall, when most people are not doing that. So it just makes you stand out a little bit from all the other people that they're pinning, and that, to me, can never be a bad thing, right?
I would agree with that. I kind of take the thought, if I want someone to comment on my stuff, I need to comment back on theirs, and I'm still working on that. So it's kind of that golden rule type, do unto others as you want them to do, And I think that, again, brings back the attention, not attention, but it brings your pins and your boards back into their, or they remember you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And there's more chance that they'll come back and look at something else you have. And if they're looking for something that you do, or, they're watching your lifestyle, if you are commenting back and giving them that respect, I think they're much more apt to start following you and maybe get involved with whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Someone who does that really amazingly is Gary Vaynerchuk. If you go to Gary's Twitter, you'll see that majority of his posts are in response to what people have commented. He is constantly reconnecting with the people that are messaging him or commenting or tweeting him or retweeting him. He's all over that. So I definitely, I pay attention to what Gary Vee does. So if he does it, I do it. Awesome. Okay, so I have another question for you, Sue, from Sahara.
Okay.
She's wondering, in a series, is it just you on the feed and no one else? What do you think?
Is that sorry, were you still reading?
Yeah, she says, is it just you on the live feed, no one else? So people are listening to what they think is a live event, hence you can use it again. So I think she's kind of put two questions into one. Yes, you want to make it evergreen, you want to make it seem like it's live right there. The person that's watching it is watching it when it's happening. But I think you could also integrate other people into that, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, the whole idea with the series is what I laid out as kind of the structure, but as far as what you're presenting and how you present it, that's totally up to you. And I know Sahara's idea is she does the raw cooking, and she makes chocolate, and she makes really really yummy stuff out of good,
Speaking of,
healthy...
I want to be on that hangout for sure.
Yeah, and that's what she said. She wants to do a cookout, give everybody the ingredients, get everybody in their kitchens, because we masterminded about this, and it's just such a great idea. So we all have our ingredients there. We're all in our kitchens with our laptops or our phones. So we're all on the hangout. And so I would say, Sahara, absolutely do that, and that can be your series. It doesn't, it doesn't have to be just you at all.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're, if you're not cooking and you're doing a training or a boot camp, I've been on a couple of Sue's different series that she's done, and you're able to bring in a guest speaker, or you bring in your team members and you do some live coaching, that kind of thing. It's awesome to involve other people. It adds dynamic, right, too, because someone might relate with Alicia's hat far more than they relate with my tattoos or the crazy Asian. Who knows? Do you ladies have any questions you want to ask? I'm just going through this.
You know what? I actually have a question about Google Hangouts that I'm watching this happening right now, and I'm wondering if anybody has ever noticed this or figured it out, and if not, then I want to figure it out myself. So when we're when we're all doing a Hangout right now, if you watch we're seeing the us on the panel are seeing a different feed, but if you watch the main feed, when Layla talks, because she's the host, all of the cameras go down a little bit so you can see her lower third. But if any one of us is talking, and tell me if you notice this right now, like when I'm talking, everybody's videos stay over top of my lower third, right?
I see. Okay.
So it's kind of crazy. So it's like you can't see anybody's lower thirds.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if there's some sort of setting that we can, right? I've never actually.
Is it only me because I hosted it?
I think so, because it's a different. The picture changes a little bit when you're talking and you're up top. All the cameras go down.
But there is a way that you can change the Hangout so that when someone talks, their face takes up the whole thing, and you don't have these little people at the bottom. I don't know how.
Exactly. So that's one way, but I'm wondering if this is. I don't know. I just noticing it, and I'm thinking, we got to figure out how we can make it so everybody's lower third show, because it kind of it seems like a glitchy thing to me. But if there is some sort of a setting.
I see it. Yeah, when mine comes up, it's up higher.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed is that Layla's camera is HD on the bottom right corner, so that may have something to do with it.
My camera?
You see that? Yeah, it says
HD
on
a webcam
right.
Oh.
I'm just on the MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
So maybe your cam is HD, and so it like does it different. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something. I don't know I don't see anybody else's.
That's a good one for you to find out and let us know, Sue.
Yeah, exactly, and do a video on it. So yeah, I'll see.
Do a video.
It's bugging me now, but anyway, thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay, I had a question that someone inboxed me privately, so I'm not going to share who it was. I just wanted to answer this question. So, because I know, again, you're never alone. You know, you think that, it's only me, I can't ask this question, and I can guarantee you someone that's watching this has this question too. And this woman came out to me and she said, I'm feeling, I'm having a lot of breakthroughs, feeling really confident, sharing myself within the group. I still have a fear of bringing it out into the public and doing it on all my social networks and outside of this sort of safe place of the superwoman. So I've got some ideas. I want to pass it to you ladies, though, because you have done just that. A lot of you were shy or kind of timid or, not the most confident people on the planet. And now you're out there, doing crazy selfies every day and cutting videos. And what would your advice for her be?
Just do it anyways. I don't know. For me personally, I've been I struggled. I was really, really shy and timid, and for most of my life, just had a huge fear of being on camera, talking in front of more than 2 people, or even one person. Like my face would go beet red, and my heart would be pounding, and I was so scared, and I just started to think, well, who cares, I could just kind of kept telling myself that, do I want this? Yes, I do. Do I want to get this message? Do I want to make a difference? Do I want to, help other people? Yes, I do. So this is what I have to do. I have to put myself out there. There's other people who feel this way, and if I do that, they'll see. I mean, you'll see, if you've ever seen my first video of me crying in my daughter's closet, I could hardly contain myself to even get one word out within the first 40 seconds. I just did it anyways, and it just gets easier every time you do it, and staying consistent is really, really important as well. Just putting yourself out there, whether it's, commenting on somebody else's thing and just sharing really the thoughts that are going on in your head. Who cares? Some people might not like it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Other people will. Other people will relate. There's enough of us in the world. to know that people will relate with you and what you have to share, and everybody has value. Just understanding that we all have value.
I kind of want to touch on that. That was the biggest issue for me. I remember in my video, I think that was the #1 question. My very first video was, I have 450 of my closest friends and family. How how do I even go there? But you want to know what really, 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 truly helped me was literally plugging into this group, because the edification and the comments and the love on my videos and my posts way outweighed the negative crap from other people. Not that I even really got any, for the most part they just don't really say anything. But, so maybe my advice is to really focus on the edification and surrounding yourself with women. And ladies, we have our syndication group, we have so many other things. I think it's really important, if you're a part of this group and you're being active and you see someone post a picture or a video or something, go to their wall and edify them and give them some love, make them feel confident, because it's really going to lift them up. And that's the advice that I have on that.
Live out of your comfort zone.
Sorry, I've lost my Google page.
I guess if just quickly as well, instead of looking at it as a big thing, thinking, oh, so and so does. Sorry, there's screaming children. I'm gonna try and make this quick. So there's, instead of looking at everything that everybody else is doing or comparing yourself to what other people are doing. Oh my goodness. Everything's fine, nobody's dying.
They're not that loud, we can't hear them.
Okay, good. So, yeah, just again, like going back to just taking one step at a time. We hear it all the time. Like, write down 5 things that scare you, that you'd like to start doing in your marketing, and just take one of those and do that today. And I guarantee you, when you're done, when you've completed that one thing, oh my God, you'll be so empowered and fired up that you'll just want to knock off a couple more of those, and you probably will. You'll just be so excited.
Sweet. I love it. And when you think about it, we have to ask ourselves, what is it that you're really afraid of? Understanding what's creating that fear, where it's coming from, and why it's there, and then releasing it. Burn it. I don't care what you have to do. Write it down and burn it. And burn it. Another thing, I think Cass was talking about the syndication. I'm going to post that right on the page, in the comments. If you're not in there yet, get in there. And then when you do a Facebook post, this was also a question, I read this somewhere, can we like each other's Facebook statuses? You can, in the Facebook syndication group. So you can post your statuses, you can post your selfies, you can post your pictures, you can post your posts and your videos in there, and then you can have all of these superwomen that go to your profile, your public profile that all your friends are going to see, and give you love, give you support, give you encouragement. And if that, that might help you to break through some of the fear that's there. Honestly, a lot of the fear that you're creating, though, is not real. The thing, well, what if people laugh at me, or what if people, say something to me at a family barbecue, or, they really don't. Usually they don't. Most people, I know I was afraid of that, and most people, now they say, how's B? I watch all of her videos. I see her all over the Facebook. So usually that's what happens. But usually this negative thing that we're afraid of, it's not even real, the lizard brain.
I have a great example of somebody who just recently broke through that. I'm sure you all know Terry Nicholson, who is in Australia. She's got 3 kids. She works in the backyard. She's just crushing it. And we've been working together for a long time. And her biggest fear was always just, I'm so worried about what my friends and family are going to think and say. And maybe I can make my Facebook posts so they can't see them. And I mean, now you look at her and she's clearly broken through that. And she's standing on top of a pole at the blockade, for everybody to see. And it's just Yeah, and we've all been there. We all have. You know, that first video, for me, it was my first blog post. I thought, you know, I feel naked sharing all of this information about myself, right? And so my other thought on that is that, yeah, you just got to do it. You got to just, you know, break through the fear, do it anyway, and it's just going to keep getting easier because you are going to get that great feedback. You're going to learn so much about yourself, and you're going to grow so much that you're going to realize, wow, it's worth feeling a little bit nervous and scared and just, you know, taking that chance anyway because the payback is huge.
I just want to add in that Nikki and Averin just put in an awesome Inner Circle audio to listen to that to pass through some of those challenges.
Pardon?
Sounds like
Yeah. And with that being said, I think we're done. Well, ladies, it has been awesome today. I'm so glad that we got to answer some of these questions for you and help you, just chew this elephant one bite at a time, just don't get overwhelmed with all of this information that will paralyze you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you just need to step back. You need to go back to your meditate daily commitment and take some time and just get your mind right about it. But honestly, once it's kind of like, think about it like this: when you started driving your car, and when you think about the first time you drove a car, the first time, was there fear involved? I was scared shitless. I thought I was going to kill someone for sure. I remember actually, I don't know who else has done this, but hitting on the gas when you meant to hit the brake. I've done that. Or like screeching forward because you thought the car was in reverse, but it wasn't. And luckily I didn't hit any garages or anything like that, so it was all good. But it's the same sort of thing. You're just getting into your new car. You're just learning how to drive it. Still, things are going to be freaky. Things are going to be foreign. You're going to mix up the pedals once in a while. But as you keep doing it daily, staying committed and on point with what you want to achieve, why you're doing it, our well-formed outcome. Why the heck did you come to this boot camp in the first place? Go back to that video. If you're stuck right now, go back to that and remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place. But realize that this process, it's like driving a car. And yes, then when you get to the point when you've been driving this car for 5 years and you can get your Instagram working and you can get 300 likes in 20 minutes of work, then it starts to churn, right? But it takes practice for you to get to that point. So that fear is just really the fear of not being 100% familiar or comfortable. And the only way that you can do that is not by avoiding it, not by putting it off, but by actually doing it daily. So I know that you're in great hands. You can tell that you're in great hands, just by these amazing women that you're surrounded with. If you do have any more questions, we have another live Q&A next Saturday. So if there's something that you didn't ask because you were afraid or you thought it was a stupid question or you thought somebody was going to laugh at you, then put all that out of your mind. Burn it. Burn, baby, burn, because it's not true. We want to support you. We want to help you with whatever challenges you're facing. This is not like a regular webinar series. This is Superwoman Boot Camp, and we want to make sure everybody finishes. Nobody is left behind. Nobody is left out in the dark. We want to pull you guys all in. And there will be an assignment. There will be an assignment for you to get on this panel next Saturday and ask your questions in person. So keep posted for that. All right, ladies. That's us signing out. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.